We love chocolate. When it comes to chocolate history, there's a lot more to uncover than you think. The Olmecs in Mesoamerica were the first people to consume chocolate, possibly as far back as 400 BC, originally in the form of a drink. So in fact, today when we think of chocolate, we think of a sweet bar usually, but it all actually started with a drink, which I find just fascinating. So the Olmecs crushed cocoa beans, mixed them with water, and added spices, chilies, and herbs. They began cultivating cocoa in what is today Mexico. Over time, the Mayans and later the Aztecs developed their own methods of cultivating the plant and later preparing the beverage. In the pre-Columbian societies, the cocoa bean was used as a monetary and measuring unit. Sometimes even taxes from conquered regions were collected in form of cocoa beans. Cocoa was considered sacred for these people. It was a symbol of abundance. It was present during religious rituals dedicated to cocoa god. For Mayans, it was Ecchua, and for the Aztecs, Quetzalcoatl. Even though the virtues of cocoa were widely embraced, the drink still remained a privilege of the upper classes. Until the 16th century, cocoa tree was wholly unknown to Europeans. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés might have been the first European to drink chocolate at the court of the Aztec king Montezuma in 1519. Bernal Diaz, who accompanied Cortés in the conquest of Mexico, wrote about this encounter. From time to time, they served him in cups of pure gold a certain drink made from cocoa. It was said that it gave one power over women, but this I never saw. I did see them bring in more than 50 large pitchers of cocoa with froth in it, the women serving with great reverence. Cortés brought back cocoa to the Spanish court, along with the necessary equipment for brewing the drink, thus starting its career on the old continent. Following the fall of the Aztec civilization, Cortés intensified the cultivation in New Spain, planning to develop a lucrative trade with Europe. The Spanish nobility quickly fell in love with this exotic beverage and adapted it to their taste, adding cane sugar, vanilla, cinnamon, and pepper. Initially, Spain hid chocolate's existence from the rest of the world to reserve for themselves its exclusive use. In 1585, the first cargo of cocoa beans arrived in Spain from the New World. This launched the cocoa trade, and the first chocolate shops appeared. During the 17th century, cocoa kept spreading across Europe. Around the year 1650, chocolate beverages appeared in England, so roughly speaking, at the same time as tea arrived from China and coffee from the Middle East. So it really was a crucial moment in history of the beverages in Europe. For many years, chocolate remained a treat reserved for the upper classes. The desire for chocolate, unfortunately, created a thriving slave market, as between the early 17th and late 19th centuries, the laborious and slow processing of the cocoa bean was manual. Cocoa bean production was often the work of poor wage laborers and enslaved Africans. That way, chocolate was gaining popularity across Europe and around the world. But the form of chocolate started slowly changing as the early Industrial Revolution took place. In 1828, Dutch chemist Coenraad van Houten created a press to remove from the drink about half of the natural fat, known as cocoa butter, thus creating cocoa powder. This invention marks the beginnings of modern era of chocolate, as now chocolate was available to everyone, not just the rich anymore. 2 years later, in 1830, chocolate bar originated in Great Britain, and the same year, milk chocolate was created in Switzerland by adding powdered milk to the mix. Chocolate followed soldiers of France and America into the trenches of the First World War. During World War II, all US chocolate production was requisitioned for the military. After the World Wars, chocolate producers began experimenting with new flavors, such as nougat, caramel, cherries, and thousands more.